So you guys have been overseas, served with personnel from other countries. So aside from the United States, who's got the toughest soldiers?
Whew, man. There's a lot out there.
Define toughest.
Yeah.
Well, toughest, I would have to go with South Korean Rock Marines.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough.
Best trained would be a different category. And
I thought the Brits.
I would probably go with Brits as well.
Yeah, I thought the Brits, man, a couple times just training with them, and I thought when I was at Bragg and they came to Bragg, I thought the Brit para dudes were tough. I think when I was in Alaska in the 501st, we had some Russian paratroopers come over and train with us, and I was really...
Oh, they were invited.
Yeah, they were invited. I was in the 501st over in Alpha Company, first of the 501st, and go Apache Warriors. It wasn't just a hunting and fishing brigade. I know everybody says that. We actually did some training there. Pretty tough. A lot of studs came out of there. But I would say, I was impressed with those guys. Hey, at Cobra Gold, I think we both done Cobra Gold and went to Thailand. I think the Thai commandos are resilient, tough people. You don't look at them; they're not really big in stature, but what they're able to do is amazing.
They're woodsmen, was what I got from them, man. You leave them like, hey guys, we're taking a 10-minute break. One of them has went out in the woods, caught a tarantula, and is cooking it on a little fire he made. A few minutes later, somebody has a cobra in their hand, and they're cutting the head off and squeezing the blood down their throat.
Right, right.
I'm not even exaggerating. Like, holy crap, where did that even come from?
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect to just the foreign militaries and training with them. It's
what they do with so little.
Yeah,
a lot of the countries.
Yeah. Jumping dial of death shoots.
Yeah,
it's insane. And I think that they got a lot of grit to them too. We are a different generation here, and they have no problem pushing that stuff to the side, and we have to be diplomatic, I guess, as they say. But I gotta say that I'm right on par with you.
Yeah, but while we're on that, man, the generations, World War II, considered the greatest generation. The American people got behind the forces and just really stood up and put in a lot of work to make us successful in what we're doing. But the generations we have right now, we've sustained full-on combat in multiple fronts for over a decade now. That's not happened in history of the United States for as long as we've been doing this. And there's a lot of guys coming back scarred and hurt, and we need to take care of them before they get out of the military and take care of them after, and take care of our brothers. So I'll leave you guys with that. Call your brothers, check in on them, check in with each other, and keep everybody here up on 2 feet.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that with I got brothers that still serve. I refuse to get rid of this hat. My brother Rodney, he's over in 10th Group in Germany. I won't elaborate past his name. He's stateside now. He had his last push in the stand and got back 6 months ago. But until he's done with his 25 years, I always keep this hat close to me. And we still love these guys, man. And I appreciate all the guys still fighting in the fight. I got several friends still doing it, and I just appreciate the resiliency in them. I talked to my brother and just hearing his heart, how he loves it. I can't tell you how many deployments this guy's been on, and how much he loves being in the fight. My buddy Rudy Soto, he's a guy, First Sergeant in 82nd, still doing it. A real good friend of mine, Scott Burzak, Command Sergeant Major, the 504. Still doing it. Guy was a team leader of mine in the 90s. Still doing it. Huge heart. And it's guys like that are still in the fight that I served with, starting back in the mid 90s, early 90s, and they're still fighting today. Since the war started in the 2000s. That my heart goes out to, and then my brothers that are out, my small squad leader, Doug Jolly, broken back, old paratrooper. He's retired now. I stay in contact with these guys. Good guy to look into is Johnny Primo over at Silencer Co., ex-SF guy. He's got that 22 going. I don't know if it's Mission 22 or Team 22. I think it's really cool, man. They're looking out for vets, just needing to talk to somebody active duty or retired. And that's huge that we encourage one another just to stay healthy, because we're all going to have dark moments or hard times. You know, man, I've had brothers that, you know, have catastrophic injuries just to do training from jumps, you know, just a fun jump to stay efficient, you know, breaking backs or bones and having injuries that haunt them for a lifetime, just the readiness of this country. So I think it's big that we stay in contact. And man, you're hurting, call somebody, man. You're still in the platoon.
That's it, man. I'm in a couple of networks, and I get text messages or calls pretty often, just like somebody's having a hard time. And then, you know, sometimes I'm in the middle of doing something, and I jump on somebody who needs some help. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, it's an inconvenience, but every time I get off the phone, I'm like, I'm so happy that I did that, and so happy that they called me. But the important thing is I always tell them, like, they're like, dude, I really appreciate, you know, you helping me find these people and doing this. And later on, like a guy recently, you know, I sent him up and he got some help. He was in an intensive thing for 2 weeks straight, and he came out just fired up, man. He was awesome. Like, just like, thank you so much. I was like, dude, I didn't do hardly anything, man. I just talked to you for a minute. I was like, the way this thing works is, you know, I talked to you then, but it might be me. You got to stay alive. Yeah. Because it might be me calling you in a month, you know? And like that's what it's about.
Yeah, and I think that's, you know, if we go back to the roots of it, you know, I know you come from the infantry, and that's my background too, is, you know, I'm a weapons squad guy, and, you know, you working in that team, you know, and calling your battle, man. It's just, sometimes it could be just talking about life. We all have pains. We all have, you know, scars. You know, getting out, you know, not having that everyday lifestyle, running around the barracks, rappelling out of windows and having all that good times, you know, you miss that camaraderie. And I think that's what's great about the gun industry. We're seeing a lot of veterans in it, and when you see them, hey, I know when I see Will over at War Sport, man, I hug the dude every time. And it's a great moment when I see another vet out there doing something amazing in the gun industry, and there's many more, you know. And it's just calling somebody and sticking together and encouraging one another when you see each other, making the most out of that moment.
What's wrong, or what can be improved upon in this industry as a whole, from your experience?
You know what? Honestly, in my experience in the industry is, I see a lot of people that are not, you know, it's like we can't appreciate other people's products. If somebody asks me my favorite gun, you know, who's your favorite gun company? I'm gonna tell you, it's like, you know, I'm gonna say Noveske or Knight's Armament. I mean, those are my favorite companies, you know, up and coming companies. I'm gonna tell you, you know, War Sport, you know, AR3. They're doing cool things, you know, and that's the thing is, we can encourage these other companies. You know, I love BCM products. I love a BCM recce gun. You know, I think Paul is amazing. I mean, that guy inspires me to do better things and bigger things, and all these companies can. You look at War Sport. You know, they start with one rifle. They're not happy. They're doing more stuff, bigger stuff, better stuff. And that should encourage me to do more things and better things, right, and spur that on. Opposed to, you know, to be honest with you, a lot of player hating. And we ain't got to hate a brother. We got to love our brothers, and we got to encourage them. You know, I look at the training community, and it is a positive community. I've been to, you know, Frank Proctor, Mike Pannone, Pat McNamara, an amazing guy, Daryl Holland, phenomenal guy. These guys all encourage one another. They love one another. Steve Fisher. These guys are like, you know, the people out there running this stuff every day. Daniel Shaw, an amazing trainer. They're showing camaraderie, closeness. They ask each other for answers, you know. I was at a conference, and I didn't really get to talk to Petty, but I seen other trainers talking to him, and how much they just talked great things about him, his vehicle awareness, you know. I really hope that the AR15 industry really embraces that, you know. I love talking to Will over at War Sport. Man, this dude is the ambassador of how people should be in the AR15 community. You know, guy, and he's not a trainer. This guy works for a gun company because he cares. And he's professional, and I buy stuff from them. I buy rifles from them. I buy SR15s and SR25s. I'm gonna go shoot with AR3. Those are people I care about. I'm gonna go hang out in Noveske. That's like my family. I love those people. It should be this way. We should not have all this animosity towards other people. You know, And it shouldn't just be the AR-15. I love AK-47s. I think what Rifle Dynamics does, and I think what Billy Cho does, is amazing. I should love those other weapon systems. You know, I can't just be an AR guy. I love all guns, man. I got an Agency Arms pistol right here. I love it. It's awesome. I just got a SIG 9mm today. I picked it up and put the Talon safety in it. You know, this gun is clear. Let me show you that just so people don't freak out. But you know, the Talon safety, it goes in that. You just picked that up today. You know, and it's not because I can put the Talon in it. It's what can I learn from that weapon system? How can I appreciate it? You know, and that's what I look forward to in this industry.
Daniel, what's wrong with this industry in your opinion, or what can be improved upon?
You know, something that's right about the industry first. Eric touched on it a little bit. Some of the names he mentioned are some close friends of mine that haven't been close friends of mine until the past 2 years. I retired from the Marine Corps and came out here in the training world and I still don't even know what kind of magic it was or how it happened or what happened, but you know, I was accepted very quickly by the top guys, and I've learned so much from them. You know, some of the names he mentioned, I'm in chats with them, and we share a Facebook group and just share information and learn from each other on a daily basis and help each other grow. And we each want to grow, and we get each other's backs, and if something good happens to somebody else, we bring them in, and we take care of each other, like you were just talking about with the gun side. But there's also what's wrong with it is we eat our own, and we fall on our own sword in that same way. If that's not enough cliche, you know, I'll probably go with another one here in a second. But it's sad what's happening in the training industry in some cases where, and this isn't really at the top of it. The top of it, you know, the guys get along, but there's some other levels in there where they're not just trying to hold people accountable, because we need to hold each other's trainers accountable. Hey, what you're doing is dangerous. Hey, what you're doing is wrong for this and that reason. You're training something that's just incorrect, and I can prove that to you. And it's not just opinion, but you know, here's why. There's science behind this, and we need to hold people accountable. But there's a lot of fighting and you know, public displays out there on social media where people are going at it, and it's not good for the student. My first responsibility is to the Second Amendment of the United States. Not just my current student, but their kids and their other kids. I need to, anything that I do that could ever hurt the Second Amendment of the United States, I'm wrong for doing that. I've got to make sure everything I say and do is safe and I'm doing the right thing. And then, you know, my other priority is I got to make sure I'm giving the 100% accurate information to my students and my followers and listeners and viewers. I've got to make sure I'm getting it right. If I get it wrong, someone can get hurt. They can get killed. They can end up in jail. And they couldn't be there to protect their family. You know, I've got to get it right, because that could save a life. That's what it's all about. That's why I do this. Not because I get to ride around on Rockstar jets or anything like that, because I still haven't seen that happen. I'm pretty sure it's not going to. Maybe one day.
I'd like to ride a Rockstar jet with you.
I would too. Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can
You can run the camera.
Might let you fly.
Yeah, maybe no.
Maverick.
Don't
be Goose.
I'm gonna go inverted.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, we need to stop that. You know, we need to hold each other accountable. And if people are so worried about what trainer so-and-so is doing and what so-and-so's got going on, and like, look at what he's doing and blah, blah, blah. Man, I can't even keep up with what I'm doing half the time. I have no time to pay attention to what other guys are doing. People ask me, what do you think about so-and-so? Like, I really don't think about so-and-so. You know, if something pops up in a conversation, if there's something I can learn from that, I am not too proud to learn. Man, I learn something every single day. And a day that I don't learn something, it's not a happy day for me. You know, I mentioned that earlier. I like to progress and get better. And I wish I'm not saying I have the perfect attitude. It seems to be working, but I wish we would lose this ego that's in some levels of the training industry, and just let's get back to basics and be the best that we can be, stay in our lanes, and make sure we're doing the right thing for the right reason. And that right reason to me is for the student. And there's some people that just get past that. They don't care about the student anymore. They care about some level of fame and whatever notoriety. I don't know.
Can you learn anything from a YouTube video?
Absolutely. You can learn a lot of things from a YouTube video. You can't prove anything from a YouTube video, but you can get a lot of good ideas and go out and put in some work and some time, some sweat and some blood, and you can prove it. But it's a good start. You know, those people out there in college writing papers, you know, you don't really cite Wikipedia. You're kind of not going to get a good grade. But it's a good place to kind of figure out where to start looking. And you can gain a lot of knowledge from YouTube in that same way. like, oh wow, I never even thought about that. That's a cool idea. Let me go test it and see if it applies to my life. If it applies to your lifestyle and what you need to do with that firearm or whatever else, or knife or whatever you're using, then take it. And I'm a guy who believes in the toolbox. I think that humans can make decisions and choose what technique, what tool, what they're going to need when this case arises. And the more things that they have ready at their disposal, the better. Like the person who is attacked, a friend of mine, Kelly Muir, she's out of Ohio, martial arts trainer. She said something a couple weeks ago in a class I was teaching that just I thought was awesome. She was talking to one of her female students, and she said, "What are you going to do if somebody walks into your house, pins you against your kitchen counter, and starts to beat you about the face? Oh, I'll do this if he's choking me, or I'll do this if he's hitting me, and I'll block in that." And like, no, you won't. You're going to do absolutely nothing. The reason you're going to do nothing is because you never introduced your body to that environment, to that situation. You've never created those neural pathways. Your brain is going to go through, okay, what is the most like thing that's ever happened to me, and how did I respond, and how was I successful? If your brain doesn't find anything, then you're going to go into that. Some people go into that catatonic-like state where they just don't react at all. We see that. Some people call it in combat stress, condition black. Not a good thing. If we can experience some more of these things, which is why I'm a big fan of physical fitness, get out there and run. Introduce your body to that cardiovascular activity that you would feel if you were in a fight, whether it's unarmed or armed. You're going to get some pretty heavy cardio going on. Create those neural pathways, do it in repetition, and introduce your body and your mind to as many things as you possibly can.
Cool. Internet trolls. You have an Instagram account.
Yes.
You're out there in the social media. Daniel, so are you. How do you deal with trolls?
That's funny.
I gotta get an answer for it.
I get a lot of folks on social media saying, "Dude, that was awesome. Thank you. That was so great. Oh, that was really good what you did. I appreciate that." And I love that. I love the kudos. People are saying thank you. And I feel like whenever I see that, it's like maybe I'm reaching somebody. Maybe I'm just doing good. It's not really self-serving. I'm happy that my mission was to reach people, and it looks like it's succeeding. But what I get more sadistic type enjoyment out of. It's like, man, where's he coming from? If somebody comes at you and attacks you for no reason, I've had all kind of things from saying I'm a little skinny runt that there's no way that I could do the things that I've said I've done in life or have the resume that I have. I've gotten things like just making fun of stupid little things that they find one little thing wrong with something and suddenly you're the worst person ever. I am human. I make mistakes. I am not a machine that does everything absolutely perfect every single time. I accept that. I would love to be that way. I'm working to be that way. I accept that it's probably never going to happen, but I'm going to keep trying anyway. Those people, I tend to restate my thesis. I made a rule a few years ago to never argue on the internet. But I will try to explain what happened and, maybe reword my thesis, what I wanted to get across to begin with. And I find that where I get the enjoyment from is people that care and really pay attention and really put in some research, they'll come in and back me up. And I won't have to argue with that person. And sometimes it gets so bad where I have to delete the whole thread because some of my followers and people that are loyal are being a little bit too rough, man. And I'm like, I feel bad for the guy that wanted to be a troll to begin with because I'm like, I can't be a troll, dude. I'm a nice guy, so I'll delete it so this guy doesn't get his feelings hurt too bad. You guys didn't have to be that harsh. What do you do, Eric?
It's an amazing thing. People, I hear a lot. $28.95. I could buy 2 rifles of this, and I could buy 2 of that, or this gun's more accurate. And I've been guilty in the past. I think I can recall only one individual, and it's tough, where you come from, your hometown. A lot of people, that's probably where you get your most doubters, in your hometown. They probably don't want to see you come up and do anything good or rise up from the ashes.
That's what it is, man. Haters that are doing absolutely nothing.
Pounding
always
keyboards.
upset.
Yeah.
I'm out here grinding all the time, every day, and I get a little bit of success, and the haters just come out, and they're doing nothing but run around the internet hating people, and they wonder why they're not successful.
I look at it, it's funny. I travel with my kids out here to Kansas. I got my daughter Shayla with me. She's graduated high school, and I got my son Mateo. He comes along for a trip with me. This is a job, and this is a job that's really time consuming. I'm traveling with my family. I'm a father that that raises my son and has involvement in my other children's lives. And this job never ends, you know. I have to, you know, help, you know, manufacture down to assembling the gun. Hey, I even clean the toilets. We have a life, and we're working to produce a product. Now, if I see something on the web I don't like, I just don't like it. You know, I'm not going to go out and tell that person how they're making their money, how it's a piece of garbage or it's too expensive. I'm just not going to comment about it. I mean, but there's going to be those people. And I think that we do put ourselves out there, so we got to be able to handle that criticism. If they're gonna be negative, you know, I choose to take the high ground. That's the big thing. Is, you know, if you just love people and encourage people, continue to do positive things, you know, the people that are negative will fall to the wayside. What are they doing? You know, that's my thing. Is what are you doing? You can sit there and pound keyboards. You know, I'm a dude that's had 21 surgeries between my leg, my back, my shoulder. I'm out running in these classes, you know, to prove my gun to the population that wants to buy the gun. The people that don't want to buy it, hey, don't buy it. You know, that's fine. I'm just putting rounds on paper and showing real data, putting rounds on steel. You know, I'm about doing that to prove what the gun can do, not what I can do. It's not about me. It's about AXTS. It's about the family I represent. And when they attack it, does it hurt? Yeah, naturally, you know. I have pride in that stuff. But the high ground is the better ground. You know, negative people are going to be out there. That's fine. You know, if they want another system, hey, I'm all about it. I buy other systems. I buy $1,200 rifles, okay? I just bought a War Sport today. You can call it Will Harris. And I bought their new GPE, or GPRE. I apologize. A couple weeks ago, I bought an LVOA upper to match with my SBR lower. And you know, I appreciate other people's products, but I have no time to go out there and badmouth other people's products and hate on what other people are doing. And I just try to lead by example. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm full of flaws. I've made my mistakes in my past. I think everybody has, and you continue to try to improve. You know, and that's one thing I really love about the gun industry. Is it's a blue collar industry, really. It's a lot of hard working people trying to do a lot of good things and trying to produce something for their customers, you know. And I think that my owner, he embodies that as well. He's just trying to make great stuff for people so they have a fantastic finished product.
Yeah, one last thought on that. You know, I think a lot of what drives a troll is either they just want some level of attention in some cases, and some of them, they just don't put it all together and they don't care about the full story. You know, in the training side of things, context is everything. There's something I would look at and be like, some people would say, that's just straight up wrong. I don't do that. You know, you did it years ago. I don't do it now. I've learned from this. I would look at it now and I was like, okay, not the way I would have done it, but what context is he going for? Maybe ask him that question. So, hey, where does this fit? You know, can you give me a bigger picture of what's going on here and why this technique would be available, or why would I want to use what you're doing? Can you help it, make it make sense for me? Because I don't see where this fits in with my life, but maybe it does with somebody else that I'm not aware of, and I just want to understand that. You know, for example, there was a comment today on the video that we just put out. I was using the C-clamp. You know, whenever I want to put a lot of shots on target really, really quick, love getting out there forward where that jump happens, get around that barrel and do it. But I also accept, and you said in my class, you know, going in first room, kicking the door in, maybe your first couple of rooms you're ready to get busy. After you held security on a danger area for 30 minutes and you cleared 5 rooms and you're tired and you're beat down and you're out of water, that hand moves back here a little bit. Eventually it gets back here and you're like, where's my first aid kit so I can rest my elbow on? So this isn't always going to be where it's going to be at. Maybe if you're running a 60-second 3-gun match, but you're out there fighting, maybe not. But if you have the opportunity, you might as well go with the most effective method. So right. Train to the most effective, but also be able to do the other ones as well. So it's all about context, you know, where does it fit? What do you do? And if people would look a little bit more deeper into that, I think they would hold off on those trollish keyboard punches.
Yeah, the trolls are out there. We're not going to stop them, and it's a reality of this industry. And hey, you know what I just tell them is troll on, man. I'm going to be making things and setting trends, and you can keep trolling and keep pounding keyboards, man.
There you go.
Right on, right on. All right, switching gears a little bit here. Favorite war movie?
Whew, man.
Platoon.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to have to go, man. I really, really like. I'm gonna have to say first and foremost, man, just because they're paratroopers, Band of Brothers. I know it's a series, but I was an 82nd guy. Those are 101st guys. But I'm really liking Fury, man. That recent movie Brad Pitt did, man. It really got to the heart. I think that's where you can talk about a squad or a team. How you can be pretty hard on each other. A lot of people that didn't serve wouldn't see that. When you're kind of riding dudes or hacking on dudes, but nobody's gonna talk about those guys. Your brothers that you served with, man. Nobody else is gonna talk about them like that, and you depend on one another. And that movie really captured that. So I dug that. But I'm not a big war movie guy, man. But those are two that really stick out to me that I dug.
I've had Platoon memorized forever, man. Like every line. It really shows the politics of a platoon pretty well, the way things go down. Cool movie. There's a lot of Marine movies out there. I spent half my life in the Marine Corps, and none of them really get it right. They always have the rah rah rah, the guy who's just cliche after cliche and just really annoying and stuff. And then they just never get it right. Like they got this Hollywood version of the Marine Corps, then there's a real version of the Marine Corps, and people don't understand it. There's one movie out there that gets it right, in my opinion, and I'm thinking 100% right. And it's Battle for Los Angeles. Freaking alien movie.
yeah.
But, dude, I'll get chills talking about it right now. The way that platoon works, the way they fight for each other, the way they keep going, the way they're finally on the helicopter after they fought, and lost a lot of people, and they got on that bird and they're flying out, but the staff sergeant needs to go put out their platoon sergeant, which was my role in the Marine Corps, has to go out and do something, and he was just going to go by himself and let his Marines go back. He goes down that fast rope. And then you look up, I'm getting chills right now. All the Marines are right behind him. You see boots start coming down. And they're like, staff sergeant's going, yeah, we hated him. We were pissed at him. We were mad. But, hey, platoon sergeant's going, we're with him. And it was just awesome, dude. I get chills every time I think about it or watch it. They ended up figuring out how to kill the aliens and do that thing. They go back. The fight's still on. They're supposed to go get some food and get some water. They've been in it for a while now. And they go over and start stuffing magazines. And because they're ready to go get busy again.
Cool.
I've personally been in that same situation where I had to go back through hell again. Didn't have to, but they're like, hey, we need to go do this because we got Marines back there. Oh, really? We got to go do that again? Let's get in the trucks, because your boys are there, That's awesome.
Who's the toughest guy you know?
Whew, man.
You got to pick one.
Man. Let me think here.
That's tough, dude.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Man, you know what? Man.
You can come back. You can come back to that. You guys want to think about it a little bit?
I think one of the toughest guys I've met that just, has overcome a lot. I just look at him and I'm like, dang, that blows me away because, seeing what he's done in the training industry is, man, Mike Pannone, man. I mean, I'm blown away by that guy. Dude lost his eye, and he learned how to shoot left-handed because, he lost his right eye. And then he went back to shooting right-handed and putting a riser on an EOTech and going over so he could shoot with his left eye. Man, that's just unbelievable to me. And watching him train just blew me away. Just his heart, his charisma, how real and raw he was, Man, a guy like that is just a testament to all veterans about overcoming, And I was really impressed with that. Talk about, you lose a limb, that's huge. You lose an eye, that's huge. Injuries are injuries, but when you lose something like a limb or an eye, that's a lot. But then to go out and go back to doing the same stuff you were doing and you trained to do, and I know it's because he loves it, and be positive. That guy's in my book a tough, There's tons of other dudes I served with that I just think that, they're still banging at it. And I just think, my buddy Ranger Kirk Challen out in Alaska still serving. I know he's getting ready to PCS somewhere else. Just a tough dude. he's another tough fighter. And again, my buddy Rudy Soto, another guy, First Sergeant Rudy Soto. He's just, guy, just a tough guy, hard as nails. But one that really sticks out to me is Pannone, overcoming that, that injury and still doing stuff at a high level.
So I know a lot of tough guys, man. Like, man, some tough girls too. Physically tough. They're a dime a dozen. There's a lot of them. When you get down to mental toughness, being able to deal with that pain and everything else, that's where I know fewer of those. And then you get down to guys who are physically tough, mentally tough, and morally courageous.
Yeah.
And are not afraid to stand up for the right thing. You get down to even fewer number, and there's still quite a few come to mind. Too many to name just one of them. But that's the measure of toughness. When somebody asks me the toughest guy I'm not thinking about. I know a lot of guys can kick my ass.
Yeah.
But
I know too many.
but the moral courage, integrity, fighting through something. That's that all comes into play, man, to being a good, tough individual.
Right on. All right, final question before we go, guys. What message do you have for the young American or a young Canadian who's considering serving in the armed forces? What can they come to expect? What should they be prepared for? And what general advice would you give to that individual?
Dude, this is easy. First piece of advice I give to everybody is, hey, my son's going to the Marine Corps. Can you talk to him? Like, yeah, I need like 2 minutes with him. Like, some people tell you, make sure you go run, make sure you go PT, make sure you do this and be ready for it and all that stuff. There's one thing you need to remember if you're going to the military. One, thank you for choosing to volunteer for service in a time of war. That's massive. If I could, I'd give you a medal for that right there because it's awesome. But the biggest thing is, when you get there, I want you to pay attention to the people that are around you. There's good ones, there's bad ones. You need to go stand next to the smart people and listen to them and shut your mouth. You need to go the ones that are going to get you in trouble, and you're going to know who they are. They're going to be the people who are the cool kids that you're going to want to hang out with. Do not get in with the wrong crowd of people, just like your parents been telling you your whole life.
Not all vets are equal?
No. There are people that you need to stay away from. Whenever they pop up, stay away from them because they will bring you down, and they'll make fun of you if you're progressing and doing well because they know they never will. They don't have it in them. So keep pushing and do the right thing with the right people, and you're going to go a long ways.
I think for me, leadership. Leadership's a big thing. Leadership, though, is learn how to be a good follower. Mm-hmm. Master being a follower. Master your craft. If you're a rifleman, learn how to be the best rifleman you can. If you're on that 240 gun team, I'm going to go back to that 240. I love that thing. Just be the best gunner you can. Be the best AG you can. Be a good follower.
That's like life rules. Yeah. Martin Luther King Jr. said that. He's like, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best. If that's where you fall, be the best street sweeper that street's ever had.
Yeah. And some of the leaders I have, in the past, and I can remember their names. First Sergeant Greg Spurlock. Dude was an ex-Delta dude, or he came from Delta, and he was my first sergeant. Dude was amazing. Sergeant Major Burzak, Scott Burzak, phenomenal leader. But I watched those guys when, not Spurlock, but Burzak, when he was an E5. This dude's a command sergeant major now. They were phenomenal followers in their leadership. They didn't just delegate things. They were participative leaders. And I really respected the heck out of that. That they were ready to do it with you. They could delegate, and they lay some scunion on you and scuff you up pretty good. But they were great leaders, but they were also phenomenal at following, and they mastered their craft. And I think that's a big thing. But a young guy going in, I'd say be a sponge and just be a great follower. And man, God bless you for what you're doing, man. It's awesome. I don't regret my service one bit. I got tons of injuries and aches and pains now. And,
wouldn't even trade the bad for anything.
I'm coming up on 40, but some of the best memories and the best friendships I have really are from it, and guys I truly love and I count on for so many things, and have supported me in so much in so many ways too. And it really is one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life, next to being a father. is probably serving. So I'd say just be a good follower and enjoy the ride, man. It's amazing.
Cool, guys. Thank you very much for sharing so candidly some of these things. I'm sure the viewers appreciate it. Let's wrap it up, Daniel.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for watching and tuning in to Gunfighter Cast. I hope to see you next time. You're gonna see more of these coming out in a much regular basis. So stay tuned to Funker Tactical.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom.